Oh my God! So we got an air date for the next series, September 19th. We see that you're all in it, so that's good.
Yeah.
And then a little Maisie Williams cameo at the end there. What can you say about that, Steven?
Well, nothing. I think it's going to be surprising what she gets up to, but honestly, I can't say a single thing about it, and it would spoil it all.
I guess that's
she's
true.
great.
Yeah. So going into this season, from the transition from last season to this season, how did you feel? Was there anything different any direction that was different than you wanted to go, or just now that you've been in his skin for a while?
Yeah.
What's Series 9 been like?
It's been a gas, you know, it's just been so much fun. I think it's great feeling that, you know, the writers all know me now and sort of want to write for me. And I think because Clara and the Doctor feel more in a groove, I think that they are really enjoying being the luckiest people in all of history, because they get to play with this immense toy box, which is time and space in the universe, and they throw themselves recklessly, you know, into the pursuit of adventure, which is lovely. That's a whole kind of different tone. That's a whole kind of, you know, it's daredevil, it's fun, it's witty, and it's clever. We also have men in rubber suits pretending to be monsters, which is one of the great things about Doctor Who. You will always have, there's a B-movie element that still survives, along with the philosophical Freudian element.
Yes, but the effects did get a lot better.
The effects are fabulous, but I mean, I think one of the great, you know, people say, what was it like? When did you first feel like Doctor Who? I think it was when they threw a rubber spider in my face and said, fight it. I said, doesn't it work? Where's the operator? They said, there is no operator, it's just a big rubber spider. Fight it. So yeah, that was great.
How's Series 9 been for you?
Me?
Yeah.
It's been good. There's kind of a freedom, I think, to us both being in our glory years, and it's kind of really adrenaline fueled and all about living in the moment and pushing the adventure right up to the edge. And obviously, with that comes quite extraordinary danger. But it's just been very fun.
Do you think she's running at all from, I mean, you know, she suffered a pretty great tragedy at the end of last season.
I think so. I think it's a change of perspective and a change of, you know, the idea that life is short and I want to live it and feel alive and eat up time and space and hang out with my best mate in the TARDIS, and I think that's all she wants.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the idea that you could do that and still be a teacher, have been a teacher at the same time. I mean, do you think a companion could ever have a normal life again once their lives have been touched in that way?
She's a multitasker. But I think that's part of the problem is that once you've kind of eked open and opened that cupboard and seen all of time and space, how do you go back? How do you go back to living on Earth and living a normal life? I think that's, I think it becomes addictive, and I think that's probably part of the problem.
Yeah. For you, Michelle, at the end of last season, we saw you vanish. You seemed sad. Not that the plan didn't work so much as just like, oh, I guess I don't get to have my friend after all. So what type of renewed energy do you feel like is taking you into Series 9? Like, where is she going to be coming from now?
She has to come at it from a different angle, which is kind of surprising and exciting to play as well. It's a slightly different dynamic to her, and to be honest, I still can't quite believe that they asked me back, and so I'm still kind of, you know, relishing that, and so she's, yeah, there's something that's slightly different to her. And I don't know whether it's because of the time it's taken to finish the last series and then come to this one, what she's been doing in between we can only imagine, probably taking tea with the Queen. It's quite like tea. So I don't know. You just wait and see. It's all very good.
Am I crazy for thinking that it feels like with this Doctor, he just lets anyone on the, like there were so many different people where it was just like, sure, come on, I'm a time traveler, time, space, whatever. It was like, I feel like in previous seasons they were trying to guard that a little more, and they're like, doors open, come in, let's all, you go to school here, get in here, come on, we'll take you to the, you know. I mean, it seemed like there was a much more of an open door policy with the TARDIS in Series 8.
Well, Peter's got such a friendly face. I was pretty aware of it. I think the Doctor's got more relaxed. I mean, in the old series, at the beginning, he was very, very strict with the TARDIS. And yeah, it's true, but for quite a long while now, he's just basically saying, yes, he's bigger on the inside, get over it.
Right.
That's it for story.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, and I used to think about this when I was a kid watching the show, and I bet I'm not the only one. I used to wonder whether the Doctor didn't more often use that as a, you know, no, I really am an alien from outer space. You don't believe me? Okay, look at that. That's an alien from outer space, isn't it? Okay, it's bigger on the inside. Why didn't he ever do that? Is what I always used to wonder when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I see it was only me. My mum was right, I should have got a girlfriend instead. Applause for my imaginary girlfriend. Virginity kept me pure.
Peter, do you feel like, do you think he's becoming gentler? Or do you feel like it's passion, or do you feel like, I mean, do you think he's a super nice guy?
Do I think he's a nice guy?
Yeah, because he comes off kind of abrasive sometimes to people, and he
He's
seems
fabulous. He's a wonderful guy. He's a guy you really want to hang around with. He's incredible. He's a laugh. He's great looking. He's terrifically live for his age.
yeah.
No, I think he's, we sort of live in a world where everybody's supposed to be everybody's so easy, everything's so accessible. So, the Doctor's mysterious. He's a Time Lord, he's not a guy. He's a special creature. I don't even know whether he even has a corporeal being. He may present this to everyone, but he may exist in a totally different plane. So he's not a guy. But if he was a guy, he'd have my face and it'd be really nice.
Clara helps him out this year with the social situations.
Yes.
Clara teaches him how to interact with humans
Right.
a little bit more this season.
Yes.
So he knows the right things to say in the right situations.
What do you think he thinks when he's with a human one-on-one? Like, what is he thinking? Is he thinking, oh, they're like adorable pets? Or do you think he feels like they're on the same level in some way? Or
I think he thinks, do I look bored?
My first instinct then was, hurry up.
Yeah.
But it's great this year because actually Clara does help him with his social skills. Tries to make him more of a welcome party guest. What kind of it's amazing. I think that with the Doctor I play, with regard to that TARDIS question, I always felt he was the kind of guy who would say, you walk through these doors, this is big on the inside, you come with me, and the whole of time and space will be available to you. Come with me. And if you blink and you don't go, yeah, he's gone.
Right.
He doesn't wait for you. You don't want to come. Get on with your own life.
I think we can open the floor to some questions now. I'm sure that the people have questions that they want to ask. So let's shine a light over there. Hello. What is it? Your microphone's right there.
Aww, so cute.
Hello.
Stephen, it's a puppet of you.
What is your name?
Puppet Laura.
Hello, Puppet Laura. Do you have a question?
Yes. Well, with the new Doctor and the new Missy,
I'm sorry, I was talking to Puppet Laura.
the new Doctor
Yes.
and the new Mistress, with the new season coming along and how they interacted in the last season, how will the dynamics be now, since we know she's trying to be his best friend and he's awkward and different? So how will that dynamic change for season 9?
I think that's a Stephen question.
Well, I mean, it's the way Missy comes back into the Doctor's life is not something you're probably going to predict. It's very, very different. I don't think this is a new idea, by the way, the Doctor and the Master being good friends. One of the first things I did when I started writing this was go back and look at the John Pertwee, Roger Delgado version, and they absolutely.
Yeah, there we go.
The sound of elderly fans clapping. It's slower. The first thing I did is that they absolutely play it as best friends. You know, one of them wants to blow up the world, one of them wants to stop it blowing up, but hey, you can't let those little things get in the way, can you? And you imagine they sort of go to a gentleman's club and have share some brandy afterwards. So that's not new. That's so we do play in it, but don't worry, she's just as vile and psychopathic as ever, in a lovely way.
Thank you, Papa Laura, and I assume human Laura as well.
It's a very convincing human you've got with you.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Hi, I want to see if Jenna and Stephen remember me from my Make-A-Wish in 2013.
Oh yes, hello again.
Hi. And that just have really helped me get through a lot. And what I want to ask is, this is for everyone, that every villain, hero, companion, even writer has something iconic about them. About their character, about the way, about the tone that they put to the story. What do you think is yours?
That is a way better question than anything I said. What do you think is iconic about your Doctor?
You mean mine specifically, or?
Yeah.
Eyebrows. I just said eyebrows.
You don't get to say, Peter, his eyebrows.
This eyebrow thing apparently is iconic. I don't get it myself, but.
Jenna, what about you?
Oh my goodness. I have no idea.
Eyes.
Eyes.
Eyes. Yeah. Huge eyes.
Big eyes. Eyebrow, eyes. Michelle? Lips. Obviously.
Yeah. Which she absolutely plants on him in that episode.
Yeah.
And was it? I almost kind of wondered if I were to watch back, is there even a second where he was like, "Oh, I know who this is," or it's still because it freaks him out whenever someone shows him affection.
Yeah, the question is who kissed who, and who hung on, and just didn't let go. And I think if you do play it back, and a few of you I imagine have often, you see that Peter is really, there's some suction there.
Yeah. He's definitely pulling her in.
There was one take where Michelle held my hand throughout the kiss.
What you didn't see was that I was actually also holding Clara's hand as I...
That answers a lot about the dynamic of season 9 then.
Did somebody just say that's odd?
No? That's hot. She said that's hot.
Because I don't think it's odd at all.
No, she said that's hot. She thought that was hot. Yeah. Yes, what is your name?
Hi, my name is Bridget.
Oh, what's your question, Bridget?
My question's for Jenna. I was wondering how you transitioned from working with Matt Smith to Peter Capaldi and how you felt about it.
Well, it was a pretty roller coaster day. I think it's fair to say there aren't many shows where you switch the lead actor mid-scene. Literally with a handshake and a swap of the costume watch, because there was only one of them. But it just happened. And we came back and began to shoot a whole new Doctor Who in the January. But yeah, it was a roller coaster. It was saying goodbye to one dear friend and very excited and hello to another, all at the same time.
Yeah, it is sort of the magic of the show that I think, as you know, if you're a diehard fan of the show, it's always heartbreaking when you watch a Regeneration episode and you cry about it for a couple days, and then you're a little, yeah, I cry, okay? And so, Mike knows what I'm talking about. And so, then after a couple episodes, you're like, oh, this new guy is, I don't know if I can't let him in. And then after like 2 episodes, you're like, okay, pretty good. And then by then halfway through the season, you're like, don't go anywhere. Like, it's this interesting, this like loss but getting new people and accepting new people. I mean, it's just life, you know. The show is just life. What is your name and question?
Hi, my name is Allie, and my question is for everyone. What are your opinions on eventually having a female doctor?
It would be awesome.
You said everyone, but I don't think I get a say. I'll start with Stephen.
Well, there is no vacancy. It's worth pointing out you just met Peter Capaldi and said, when you leave, there is no vacancy. Well, I think my opinion is fairly obvious from the show, isn't it? What I think about the possibility and whether it would work or not. I think I've expressed myself about as clearly as I could in the context of the show. If you're not reading the subtext, then hell mend you. But believe me, some people aren't reading that subtext because it's too subtle.
Yeah, and I'm not going to reveal myself as a man today.
Such a disappointment, especially for Jack Davenport.
Jenna, do you want to take a shot?
I'm sure it will happen at some point, but like Stephen says, I think it's just about casting the right actor, and I don't think Peter's going to change costume or anything.
At this point.
Well, maybe I should do a drag episode just to try that.
That'll be interesting.
Don't say that with Stephen here.
You totally have to do like a Dr. Doubtfire episode.
I think the doctor's sister should have been.
What?
Oh, hello. You guys look amazing. Dr. Donna. Fantastic.
In 1,000 years, when Doctor Who is found again, everyone will remember all of you.
Oh, thank you.
Simon, but I have a question for you. As a writer, what is your greatest inspiration in literature, and what do you pull most from in time?
Oh, this is such a depressing answer. Probably Doctor Who. It's what made me want to be a writer. It is. I'm not making this up for the sake of this panel. I saw Doctor Who and saying, "Look, that's amazing. One day I shall run that show." My parents were surprised. I hadn't spoken until then. So it was, I was so inspired by Doctor Who. I remember, what got me interested in television was the fact that the Doctor changed, and I couldn't understand why. I kind of thought, why would they do that? And eventually my dad explained to me because one actor wanted to leave and another one wanted to come in. And I thought, that's interesting. I didn't know they could do that. And I had to deal with the idea that somebody would be Doctor Who and then choose not to be Doctor Who. And I've had to live through that as an adult as well. It's quite frightening. But no, it really sort of is. I mean, the other influences as a writer, if you ever want to know how to write a screenplay, forget all those how to write a screenplay books and just read William Goldman. Every screenplay William Goldman's ever written is amazing, so that's worth reading. Neil Simon is a god of comedy. If you want to understand how comedy works, read Neil Simon. But really, above all, I think the horror of Fang Rock is really cool. That's a Doctor Who story for those of you.
Yeah.
So it's a slightly boring answer, but that's the one.
Maybe Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in there too, for good measure. Do you have a question?
I do. My question is for Peter. So, with your expert experience in all of the previous seasons, do you think that the 12th Doctor would ever want to travel with any other companion, and who would it be?
Yes!
I think that I think he would like. He loves traveling with Clara. I think that's the special bond he has.
Aww.
With Clara.
It's just because we're going back to work on Monday. This is why.
I've got to say that. But I think he'd like to see his granddaughter again.
Yes! Susan!
Perfect answer! You sly dog. You were like, oh, Kylie Minogue. No, but you went. You went, granddaughter. Hi, what is your name?
Hello, my name is Christopher.
And you come to the wrong panel. We're all in the ballroom in about half an hour.
My question is for all three actors, but in particular Miss Gomez. Yeah, it's because you said that. Could you give us a brief description of what your character's idea of a perfect day would be?
Day?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a perfect Sunday. Like, what's a perfect day? Starting with Michelle.
Okay. I just like squashing big bugs. Probably in the shape of, let me see, the biggest bug of all. I think she could probably, her perfect day would be starting with some tea, maybe a little croissant, and then slapping Wonder Woman in the face.
I suppose it's teaching a bit of Jane Austen, followed by walking into the stationery cupboard, opening the door to the TARDIS, and then jetting off to like Jupiter, or Uranus, or some strange planet from afar.
So Jupiter. So then Jupiter. Then. Yeah, Jupiter's good.
Let's focus on Jupiter. Kill some octopus-shaped aliens, save the world, have a cup of tea with the doctor, and get an early night.
Nice. So you do that a lot. Peter.
I think I'd probably get up, have a nice big pot of coffee, read the papers, think this is really relaxing, I really like this, and then get really bored. And look up into the night sky, which would be odd because it's in the morning, but on another planet where morning is night. And I would think, yes, let me go to a planet where morning is night. Yes, I think he would just, every day he just starts off wanting to have a nice quiet time and then thinks, oh, this is dull, it's all out there. Let me go out there and go to the planet Skaro and see where they're at.
Why do you think he's so enamored of humans?
Budgetary reasons.
Fair answer. Thank you. Hello. What is your name?
My name is Chloe.
And what is your question?
Given the opportunity that the Doctor and Sherlock have an episode together, with Sherlock
Yeah.
how do you, Peter, think that the personalities would work out? Like, how would you react?
More cleverly.
Yeah.
Your long conversation about billing, trust me.
Yeah, because I think one of the first times I met Steven, I thought I was really clever, and I was like, well, I mean, the Doctor's just space Sherlock, and he was like, no, he's not! And then I immediately shrank down because I just said a dumb thing to someone I admired, and then, so the Doctor has compassion for everyone, and Sherlock has compassion for no one, basically.
Yeah,
So-
they're very different, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how well they get on. But for the record, just for the record, no one believes this, I have no problem with the idea of them meeting. It's all the rest of them that have got a problem with it. I'd do anything for a laugh on a tart. No offers.
Hi, what's your name?
Hey, my name is Ethan. I have a question for probably Moffat or Jenna.
Moffat. Stephen, it's fine.
Moffat.
Jenna's character has been divided into multiple versions, as we saw with two previous before her character came on.
will we ever see maybe more versions of Clara's character from Time and Space?
Well, we'd never tell you what we're going to do in advance, would we? But Doctor Who magazine has done a rather good comic strip version of that. So if you want to see that, it's actually available there. It's really quite good.
Good answer, Moffat.
Everybody in my family is called Moffat. It doesn't feel very specific.
Hi.
Hi, what's your question?
My question is for Jenna. Sorry, I got nervous for a second.
No, don't be nervous. They're very normal. I'm poking him right now. He's a person. You're safe. This is the safest place in the world right now.
Was being a companion something you've always dreamed of doing, or was it like a happy accident?
It was a very happy accident. I was one of the denied children, so it was never on in my childhood. So my first experience was literally just getting Stephen Moffat's sides of playing 3 different characters in one audition, and I just had so much fun. I loved it, and had a couple of meetings with Matt, and it was so surprising how many different versions of one scene you can play with, and how sharp and witty and just fun and funny the writing was and is. So it was an extremely happy and very lucky accident.
How did you feel your life changed from the second it started airing with you on the show?
I mean, it changed really from that first audition, but it's the storytelling that you get to do, and the adventures, and the sets that you walk onto, and the mad old stunts, and aliens, and green screen. You know, the whole experience is really like nothing else. And then you step out of it for a second and come to places like this, and get greeted by lots of very cool people. It's just incredible storytelling at its best. With somebody described it to me as an imagination explosion. I like that description.
Yeah, because you basically just shoot in a bubble, and you work most of the year, and so you probably, I would imagine it's very difficult for you to see the effect that the show is having on people until you come to an event like this. What's it like over in England? Is it similar? Are people similar? Are the cons similar over there?
Yeah, I mean, what did you imagine they were like?
Well, because when I remember when Matt and Karen and Arthur first came over, it completely melted their brains, because people, you know, they did that thing in New York where people waited in line for 2 days outside, and they were like, oh my God, people in England aren't like this, and it really, like, they were excited, but it also freaked, like, they were like jolted by it a little bit.
In terms of the reaction, yeah, you know, Americans are much more generous and outgoing, and you know, the way British people enjoy themselves in public is secretly. You try not to let it show. I do that too. I mean, you know, I can't move my face. It never. People think I'm grumpy all the time. It's just I don't know how it works. That's what comes to a room full of British people say. They'll come out saying that was absolutely hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. So yeah, there is that. But people are very excited for Doctor Who in Britain too.
Yeah,
they are. But also, we get plucked from this bubble in Cardiff to here. You know, in Cardiff, we're just making a show and working, and then suddenly we're here, and there's a room full of 7,000 people, and there's that lady with all those badges, and it's really incredibly exciting and different and strange. And why has she got so many badges?
Oh, is that what? Yeah, that's oh, there she is.
Badges.
Yeah.
This is my friend Karen.
Hi.
My question is for Mr. Well, first I wanted to mention Mr. Capaldi, because I just wanted to show that I can say it right. Did you like the button that I gave you yesterday?
It was great. I got a fabulous badge that said, "Not a hugger."
And my question is for Mr. Moffat, Stephen.
Hello. Mr. Moffat's fine. It's good. Moffat at me, it doesn't work.
I noticed that you made Matt's doctor very special by having his face for the longest amount of years. How are you going to show the love to Peter?
Well, you mean I showed my love to Matt by trapping him for 1,000 years in a village?
Yes.
You have a very strange way of expressing love. I aged him to death. That's not how you express affection.
You
well,
also make
marriage,
a ball.
I suppose. Do you know what? Do you know what? I'm not going to answer you because there's an answer coming up in the show.
What? Excellent. Thank you. Did you have another question button later? Or are you all set? It's good to see you again. All right.
Hi.
Hello.
I was wondering if you had any tips for aspiring actors. Just all.
For aspiring actors.
Go into hosting is what I did. 'Cause I'm a crappy actor.
Read a lot. Read a lot of books and read as much as you can.
As somebody who's endured a lot of rejection, and as somebody whose nickname by their agent is the Roach, as in the cockroach, because I'm now an inspiration to the younger clients because I keep getting squashed like a bug out there and I keep coming back. So my tip would be just never give up. And this world is abundant and there's enough for everyone, and if you do give up, somebody else is going to take your spot anyway. So if you really just believe in yourself and keep going, you'll get your 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah. Woo! Woohoo! Give an answer for that?
Hey.
For young actors, yeah.
Learn your lines.
Learn your lines. I gotta say, just really quickly, I know you weren't seriously asking me, but I do have a suggestion for you, which is the technology has basically made it possible for you to just make the thing that you want, you know? So just make stuff, don't be afraid to make stuff, don't be afraid to fail, make stuff with your friends, find someone who's like a writer and a producer, form a group, put it on YouTube, put your stuff out in the world, and when you start pursuing that path, like, answers will start to reveal themselves to you, so there are no excuses anymore. Just make the stuff that you want to see exist in the world, and then if the business catches up with you, great, and if not, you're making the stuff you want, and that should make you happy. So that's my advice for that. I'm not trying to do an Oprah moment. You get a car, and you get a car!
And now someone has taken that part.
Hello!
Hi, Grinch.
My name is Jericho Salazar, and I'm the Grinch.
I love that that's the aside. I'm the Grinch.
Okay, I want to ask this. Well, first off, I love you all, you guys. Thank you for coming here. You're amazing.
So can you just wake that lady up and see behind you?
Thanks for keeping it real.
We love Doctor Who.
I want to ask you, Peter.
Yeah.
Whenever you become the Doctor, like no, like.